Monster Castle, paranormal, radio hound, Monster Castle, paranormal, digital radio, KTLK.
In a flat somewhere with friends or whatever, and that's where you live while you're at college or university until you learn what you need to learn about. And I think that's what Stonehenge was, a place for people to go so that once they've learned everything, they can shoot off with their families and they can then build their own farm. And there are stone circles, as you probably know, scattered all over the world. Now, these stone circles are not as big as Stonehenge, obviously, but I believe that what the families then did is they went off and they built their own stone circles, and they used them. They knew exactly where to put the stones. They knew how to set them up. They knew which direction they had to face the main headstone in, and that was their little mini Stonehenge. They knew when to plant, when to harvest, when to pick the food, when to put the animals out, when to bring them back, what time of the day it was, what time of the night it was, what time to go to bed, what time to get up. And Stonehenge told them all this, and I honestly think that's what it was. That's what my spirit guides were showing me. But
it makes a lot of sense.
Sorry?
It makes a lot of sense. Everything that you said, it makes perfect logical sense.
And I actually said to my guides, I said, can you tell me how, because it's a big question that nobody knows, how did they actually move the big stones from Wales, from South Wales in the UK, down to Salisbury Plain, where the Stonehenge is? And they showed me the word, in capital letters, solution. And I looked at it and I thought, what on earth are they trying to tell me, my spirit guides? Why have they shown me the word solution? Have I got to work this out for myself, how they moved the big stones? And I thought, well, I don't know what that means. So I was then maybe a couple of days later, and I was driving on a driving lesson behind a car. And the registration on the car was OIL, oil.
Is this Wolfman?
Yeah. Oh, welcome to the conversation. This is my friend Eric.
Were you trying to get me on, or was that somebody else? I wasn't sure.
Oh, no, it's you. Yeah, because I just saw you were available, and I thought you'd love this topic we're doing right now. This is one of my co-hosts, actually, and I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Spooks from the UK, and we're talking Stonehenge right now.
Ah, right, okay. So I got the word solution from my spirit guides, and I was driving on a driving lesson behind a car a couple of days later, and the registration on the car was oil, OIL, and then some numbers. And all of a sudden it hit me, and I thought, that's what my guides are showing me. That's how they moved those stones on a oil-based solution. And I went back and I said to my spirit guides, is this how you move these big stones on an oil-based solution? And they showed me a great big round, how can you explain it to you? Like a big ball of stone, yeah?
Yeah.
And it was huge. And then they showed me wooden tracks, okay? Like a railway line, yeah?
Yeah.
And it was fastened together, but these tracks were in very short sections. And what they did, they put these big balls of stone onto the tracks. This is what they were showing me. And then they put the uprights of Stonehenge on top of these balls. Now, these balls were covered in some like oily solution, and I don't know what it was, but possibly animal fat or something. And the balls rolled, and the pieces of stone actually rolled across the top of the balls. And then they were picked when they were picked up. And then they'd pick the track up and run it round to the front, put it down again, and the balls would carry on rolling along the track. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but except if they have to go up big hills or anything. Other than that, it's
I don't know how they did the hills, but you know.
I think they use sound vibrations, sound resonance, sound vibration.
Not sure. I don't know. I'm only going on what they actually showed me. My spirit guide showed me. But if you think about it, it's a fantastic way of doing it. They would have had ways of getting up the hill. I mean, look at them. They built the pyramids, for goodness sake, and they moved all those great big pieces of stone along on sand. You know, if they could do that back in the days, then why not? Why can't they get a ball up a hill?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Hey, Wolf, I don't know if you saw my text I sent you. I'm actually got to go to work.
Oh, that okay. Well,
my bad.
You got a question in. Well,
yeah. So you're not doing a show right now, are you?
Yeah, this is a pre-record. This is a pre-recorded show. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, right.
So
on.
if you want to ask any questions before you have to go, then go ahead.
I don't. So the topic is about Stonehenge. Is that what the topic's about?
Well, right now, like he's a spiritual medium, and some of his spirit guides were teaching him things about Stonehenge, and this is what he was researching.
Interesting. So what country are you in, sir?
I'm in the UK.
Wow. Do you know Tony Topping by chance?
No, I don't know, no. I live about probably 120 miles from Stonehenge.
Wow.
So
have you spent a lot of time there as far as actually...
I have been there. I've been there quite a few times, probably 3 or 4 times I've been to Stonehenge. It's amazing. It's a wonderful feeling. But the strange thing is that after all this information I had from my spirit guides, which I have spoken to several other mediums about it, and they've said, wow, Spooks, that it makes an awful lot of sense. It really makes sense. It makes sense. And I got in touch with Stonehenge and I rang them up and they just didn't want to know. They weren't interested in what I had to say. And I said to this lady, I can't believe that you don't want to know. You don't want to hear what I have to say. She said, that's not what we're not in, the spiritual talking to the dead and this. I said, whoa. Hang on a minute. I said, Stonehenge is one of the most spiritual sites in the whole world, and you don't want to hear. And she did not want to know. I was absolutely gobsmacked. So I said, well, okay, fine, not a problem. I said, but it will be going in my book, which it did.
Huh? Yeah.
I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked.
No, they don't care about that kind of stuff.
First book, or have you? Because I'm new to.
Say that again.
Stonehenge. Will this be the first? Will this be your first one on Stonehenge, or have you written others also?
No, my book's not specifically about Stonehenge. I've written 3 books now, and my second book, A Walk on Spirit Street, has an article in there about 2 or 3 pages about exactly what I'm telling you now, is exactly what is in the short story. My books are all short stories. Some of them are half a page, some of them are 2 pages, some of them are 3 pages, but they're all true stories, things that have actually happened to me, myself, things I've seen, spirits I've seen, voices I've heard, visitations in my bedroom. I just tell the story as it happens, basically, as it goes. I've got no reason to lie. I don't make money from it. Whatever money I make goes to cancer research. It's just something that happened to me in my life, and it took me on a totally different journey. And I'm now a totally different person. I don't think you would have liked to have known me 10, 15 years ago. I wasn't a very nice person. But since I've been into the spiritual side of things, they've totally changed me, and I love them for it. Absolutely love them for it.
Wow. So, Wolf, how did you meet this gentleman? This is very interesting.
Yeah, I seem to have a knack for finding very interesting people that haven't...
Yeah.
That need to be heard, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't like to. I don't.
Guys, how long are you guys going to do the show for? Because I'm going to work for about an hour and a half. And are you going to still be doing the show for 2 hours or 3 hours, or what's the plan today?
Well, we're just doing half-hour sections, and I don't know how many we'll get done today. So we're doing a half hour at a time, and then...
And don't forget it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, so I want to be going out and having a few drinks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, you can start having drinks now if you want. I think we should all start having drinks right now. Call in work.
I actually already had a few shots. I came back from L.A. You saw my tweets probably, driving in the rain for 4 hours. But I took a few shots of tequila, a little vodka.
Good for you.
Cheers.
And put it in my coffee, actually. I put it in the coffee and
cheers, mate.
had a little green medicine. And now I got to go lift about 400 pounds onto the truck and take it to some lady's house and collect some money. It's all legal, though. It's all legal.
I'm glad to say.
Good stuff.
So, hey, it was nice to meet you, sir. What's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't get the name. I apologize. Spooks. Well, are you on Twitter,
Oh, you're
Spooks?
talking to me. Sorry, I don't know who's talking to who at the moment. Yeah, Spooks, my name. That's the
Are
name
you on Twitter, Spooks?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the name I write my books under.
Do you do social media like Twitter?
Yes, he's on Twitter. I'll give you the...
I'm on Twitter, yeah.
Okay, great. I'll follow you on Twitter and.
Well, if you have a look on Twitter, my name on Twitter is @1SpookyBooks.
@1SpookyBooks.
It will be posted on hashtag 47Talk on Twitter.
Awesome.
Shortly when I advertise the show.
No
Beautiful.
problem. No problem.
I think I'll use this show.
Now is going to be on later tonight.
It's going to be on New Year's Eve. I think.
Okay, so today's Friday, right? Are you doing a live show?
Doing a live show tonight, and this one will probably go on tomorrow night then, because no guests will come on New Year's Eve, so I'll use this.
Right on. Yeah, I got some good stories to tell you from what happened at John Polk's house. Some very interesting things. Some things I learned that I didn't even know about.
Wow.
But I'll tell you about it later.
We could do a whole show on it.
Spooks. Yeah, we could. I'll see how. I mean, I slept since yesterday.
I had I had a gut feeling to get a hold of you right now, even though I was doing this interview.
The timing was perfect, actually, because I'm driving to my warehouse right now.
I know it was like it was an imperative. I said something was telling me, no, even though you're doing this interview, you got to get a hold of Eric right now.
Yeah.
So I did.
I wish I had time to do more research on what Spooks is talking about, because I don't know. I know Stonehenge, but I don't know very much to be able to talk intelligently about any topics. But the whole oil concept of using oil is interesting, because I've never thought of it or considered it. So it's now something I'm gonna have to look at. I mean, if you're a spirit guide,
when I say oil, they probably didn't have an oil as such back then, but it would probably be more like an animal-based oil, which made things
like
slightly...
maybe a lard of fat lard or something. Well, here's the question:
the word my spirit guides gave me was solution, and I had to work it out. And
I was thinking,
when I followed the car with the name oil on the registration, that was it. That's when I clicked.
What about the types of beings that were responsible for manipulating these things? I'm guessing, were they the Nephilim, or was it they weren't just pure humans like you and I walking the earth today, were they?
Well, I didn't. It didn't actually go that far. I didn't go that much into it. I mean, I was only asking a question as to what was Stonehenge for, and how did they move the stones. But as I explained to Wolfman earlier, that it was my belief that the whole thing was used as a college or a university of some type for people to go along and learn about survival, about life, and how to plant, when to put the animals out, when to bring them back, when to harvest, all about life, survival basically. And then once they'd learned from that, they would go off on their own, get married, move into their own little farms out on the moors somewhere or wherever, and they would build their own little Stonehenge and use that as their clock, basically. And I think that's what Stonehenge was. It was a huge clock, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you already talk to him, Wolf, about at what point in his life these experiences or these guides introduced themselves, or have you got to that part yet?
Briefly, yes. in the first section.
I missed that.
Yeah. I think we're going from here is probably. You could recap that if you want. I don't know. Where do you want to go from here, Spooks?
Recap. Sorry about
when the spirit guides actually introduced themselves to you.
Oh, right back at the beginning.
Yeah.
How old were you approximately? Do you recall?
It was about 20. I'm 65 now, and it was about 26 years ago, when my guides came to me, and they started showing me pictures in my mind. They started off with colours, actually, really vivid colours. And a friend of mine introduced me to the spirit world using crystals, basically, rose quartz and that sort of stuff. And that's how I actually got into it, because I was going off the rails, I was going off the tracks, I was meeting the wrong people, I was meeting the wrong women, I was going down the wrong road, basically, and
that's funny.
They pulled me back.
I think I could share that sentiment with you, sir. It was about 37 or so, 37 to 42 is when I had my awakening.
Yeah, about the same as me. Yeah.
Yeah, we would go through the school of hard knocks first.
Well, it's all about life. It's all about life's learning curve, and you have to learn in life, and that's what we're here for. Each life is a special life to each time we come back, and we have to learn about that life. And I had a conversation with somebody today about somebody who was into drugs, big time into drugs, and they'd lost their job, they'd lost their house, they'd lost their wife, they'd lost their children, and they were virtually homeless and on the streets, and all he wanted to do was to kill himself. And I said, whoa. I said, you need to talk to this guy and tell him that's not the answer. That is not the answer, because the moment you commit suicide, all right, it might be over and done for you right there and then. I said, but you're going to come back again, and you are going to have to live that life again until you learn the correct way to put things right, not just cut it short.
Exactly. And the more and more times you do this, I forgot to mention in the earlier section, is where you become an older and older soul. Your soul becomes older. That's when people say you're an old soul. Sometimes the psychic will tell you that, oh, you're an old soul. Well, that's what that means. You've come back.
You will come back about 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 times, and relive a life, or you will have another life until you've actually learned everything that there is to learn.
It could be
and once
hundreds.
You've learned everything, you would then become a spirit guide or whatever. You come back and be reborn into this life again, and you become what I call a do-gooder. And you're one of these people that goes around, you don't hate anybody, you don't dislike anything, you're quite happy to work for nothing and just help anybody and everybody on the planet. And I think that's what happens to you. I believe I spoke to you about my uncle Gordon, who keeps coming back to me, didn't I, earlier on? Probably about an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I believe he is one of my spirit guides now, since he died. And he keeps coming back to me all the time. And when he does, I mean, my granddad comes back to me quite a lot as well. When there are problems in the family, my granddad comes back. And I know when he's there because I smell cigarettes. And he was a heavy smoker. I get shown a photograph in my mind of a cricket ground, and his house was right next to a cricket ground. And then I feel the side of my bed when I'm lying in bed. I feel the bed go down as if somebody's sitting on the bed, and I just pull my knees in and I'll just say, "Hi, Granddad, what do you want?" And then he starts showing me things, pictures in my mind that need sorting out. I need to go to Auntie so-and-so or Uncle so-and-so and tell them this and tell them that. He's not happy with this, he's not happy with that. And just because you're dead, just because you're in the spirit world doesn't mean that it's all over and done with and you don't care. Of course you do. You still care, you still love your family, and you still want to help. And if your family have got problems, you want to come back and help them.
Yeah, that's amazing, eh? That is amazing. So what's one of the strangest things that you were told that you had, or a more interesting story that earlier?
Well, I've got many, many stories, and as I say, I've written 3 books, and they're all full of these stories. I think one of my first ever amazing vision I ever had was I was lying in bed, and these all happen around about 3 a.m. in the morning, which is the most spiritual time, apparently. This is when most things happen, and I'm always woken up with either somebody shouting my name, Spooks, or a bang on the door, a bang on the floor, or a door slamming. But it doesn't actually happen. It's all in your head. It's a spiritual noise, and they wake you up. And once they've got your attention, then they will start to show you things. And I one day was woken up, and I was whisked off, a little bit like Warp Factor 10 Star Trek. You know how it goes woof and it's gone. And all of a sudden I was stood in the middle of a river, and it was as clear as day. And I'm looking down the river's flowing either side of me. It was about up to my knees, the water, and on the left-hand side, looking down, was a toll path, like people were walking down, or you could walk down the side of the river on this little path. And then there was a ditch and some trees and bushes. And the trees, I'll tell you how clear it was. They were silver birch trees. That's how clear the picture was. I could see that by the bark on the trees. And I've just stood looking down this river, and I'm looking from side to side, and all of a sudden on my left-hand side, a lady walked down past me, and I turned to look at her, and she had a couple of dogs with her. And as she walked down the toll path, there's a bush at the side of the river, and from the bush, out from behind the bush came, it was quite bizarre, it was like a black cloak, if you can imagine what a magician would wear, or the devil, with a big high pointed collar. And this cloak went right over the top of this woman. And that was it. I was awake, and I sat up in bed, and my heart was bang, 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 bang. It was pounding away, and it frightened the life out of me, actually. And the next day, because my dad's an ex-policeman, I write everything down, and I always tell him everything I see in a vision. And I spoke to him, and I told him what I'd seen, and he was an ex-detective, and he said, "That doesn't look good, Spooks." He says, "I think you need to go back and see if you can ask some more questions." I said, "Well, what about?" Because this was pretty much at the beginning of my learning. And he told me to go back and find out where all this was supposed to be happening and everything else. And I went back and I asked if I could have a name, and they gave me the name of a village, which was Canton. And they then showed me a picture of this man, and he was holding a lady, and he was dragging her into the bushes round the neck. And they then showed me his right hand, but they surrounded his right hand in light, making it a little bit more aware of what was going on. And he had a wedding ring on his right hand, or a ring on his right hand, third finger. And when I told my dad about this, he said, "She's been murdered by her ex-husband." And I said, "Well, what makes you say that?" He said, "Because they're showing you his right hand, his wedding finger on his right hand." He said, "Which hand do you get married with?" And I said, "The left." He said, "Well, there you go." He said, "When you get divorced or separated, you take your ring off and usually put it on the right hand." I went, "Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Never thought of that." Well, within 2 days, they'd found this lady, and she'd been murdered. She'd been strangled with the pieces of rope, the dog leads around her neck, and they eventually, after about 24 hours, arrested her ex-husband and charged him with murder. And it was just outside the village that they showed me the name of. My spirit guide showed me the name, and it all came true. And I see a lot of this sort of stuff, things that are going to happen, and they always happen. Princess Di, I saw her crash exactly as it happened, exactly almost a year to the day, all bar a couple of days. And I saw the car, I saw it go into the tunnel, I saw the crash, I saw a white car come alongside it and disappear, and then the black car that Princess Di was in reversed back and came out of the tunnel the same way it went in, which in fact it did, but it was on the back of a lorry because it was totally wrecked. And I asked my spirit guides, was Princess Di murdered? And they showed me N-O. No, it was not murder. It was a pure accident. And I don't need to ask any more questions because that's as much as I need to know. And again, this is what I see. This is what happens.
Wow. What else was I going to ask you about?
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, that is quite amazing. Yeah, one thing it just bothered me. What is a lorry?
A lorry, a juggernaut.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like a... pardon me? Is it like a bus or something?
Hello.
Oh, hello, Ellen.
How are you?
Good. Okay. We're talking with Spooks from the UK right now.
Yeah.
And we're doing a pre-recorded interview. So if you want to listen for a while and then ask questions, you're welcome to. This is
lovely. I'll do that.
All right. This is Ellen from Ireland. Spooks?
Yeah, from Mysterious Holidays.
Mysterious Holidays, yeah. I thought we were supposed to have a sound test today. I didn't think you'd mind, Spooks, if I let her in. Oh, geez, I lost him. Hang on.
Okay.
I have to phone you back. I'll have to phone you back, hon. I hung up on him by accident.
We cut him off. Okay, look, don't worry about me. I don't mind if you don't call me back.
But the sound test worked anyway, so that's good. You sound great.
Grand, and I can understand you, and you can understand me, and don't worry about calling me back until you're finished with them.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so
bye-bye.
much. Okay, have a good day. And I'll probably call you later today.
Great. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Groovy, far out, excellent, right on, and I like it, and I dig it. Yeah, here we go.
Alrighty, that's no good. Skype.
Hi, yeah, back again.
Oh, Skype dropped on me again.
Yeah,
And we are
But
going
it
to
was
do
right at a half hour anyway, so...
The Monster Rock Band, an original from Monster Castle again. Featuring my brother.
Try and rescue me.
Stop it.
Okay. Midnight, when the moon is full. Fridays and Saturdays. So it's midnight here. Eastern Standard Time. It will be 9 o'clock.
Monster Castle
KTLK Network, the Fringe.fm.
This is Wolfman Mike, and quite an interesting topic that day we had, and about Stonehenge, and well, we can get this guy back on anytime. He just likes to be on early. He doesn't like to do really late night stuff. Well, he's in UK, so I'm thinking we could put him on the Dirty Rotten Taro show, and that would be perfect right in the morning when he's eating his brekkie. Have some more spooks. Yeah, we need lots of spooks around here in the castle. We like spooks. Any guy that calls himself Spooks is cool in my book.
And then, we got showed up by these little bastards come up there, and they got the same boombox. But it's got, when they press eject, it's got cushion eject. When I pressed my eject, the tape just shot out. Theirs came out slowly. And they had other things to adjust the treble, the bass, the left and right speaker for the mono speakers. But it all sounded fucking same. And they're sitting there screwing with their shit for 30 fucking minutes. And I could put a tape in, I could press play, and I could play dance, and I could stop it, I could eject the tape, and it'd fly out there, and I could change another fucking piece. And these guys are over here making a cushion eject in their treble bass line. Fuck you guys. That's what you're doing, man. You're fucking the slave to the fucking technology. You're buying into this bullshit. If you had a fucking brain, if you had the old school in you, you could do it like we used to do it. Just press play. Enjoy the eject button. They shoot the shit out. You don't need the cushion eject. You lost your old school. You're trying to Britney fucking Spears. Are you kidding me, boy?
Yeah, we're back, and I was meaning to ask you, since I'm aspiring DJ. I'm trying to be a DJ, doing my best I can, but I'm just doing it on my own. I used to be a musician, right? So I just wonder, any pointers you have for me, or anything you could tell us what it was like when you were a DJ.
Right. Well, I started as a DJ in small clubs, and basically it was they just happened to like my voice. I think that was the main thing. But nowadays things have changed an awful lot in the UK anyway. I don't know about in the States or in Canada, where nowadays DJs in clubs tend to sort of mix music quite a lot rather than too much talk in between. However, there are different types of DJs, which I've tried to explain to people before. If you're a club DJ, then yes, you will play back-to-back music, pretty much non-stop, and it'll be hi, good evening, and then good night at the end of the night, and that's pretty much it in a nightclub. If you're a mobile, what we call mobile DJs over here, and you've got your own equipment, you go out doing weddings and birthdays and that sort of stuff, then they will want a little bit more chat, but not too much. If you've got nothing to say, don't say anything. That's what I was always told. And introduce yourself, introduce one or two records, introduce it when they put the buffet, the food out, and introduce the bride and groom's first dance and the usual sort of stuff. But a lot of people let themselves down. And one of the worst things in the world, it is one of my pet hates, is not so much on radio, because it's all part and parcel on radio, but when you're a DJ and you're out doing a wedding and you're playing jingles. You know what I mean by a jingle?
Oh, would you like to hear a jingle that we came up with? Here's one for you. I believe you'll like it. Spook.
All right, yeah. Can you dig it? Fantastic. It's your invitation to avoid the nauseation, frustration, desolation, mutilation, degradation. We like to rock, and this is a donation station. Yeah, baby. Go to monstercapsuleparanormal.com and donate today. Keep us rocking, man.
An intro, false clapping, and that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff when you're doing a live disco at a wedding or a birthday. Jingles are just so bad. They really are. On radio, it's all part and parcel of the show, and I used to use lots and lots of jingles in my radio show that I used to have. But very, very different when you're doing live DJing. The music is more important. That's what the people are there for. They want to get up, they want to have a dance, they want to enjoy themselves, and you can soon read the audience pretty much, and you'll get to know whether they want you to say anything, whether they want you to take the mickey out of them and have a bit of a laugh. Sometimes you can say something and get upset, and I've been grabbed round the throat a few times when I've said something I shouldn't have done. But again, it's a learning curve, and you learn as you go, and you know when to keep your mouth shut.
I've got a really cool jingle right here. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the way I put together.
What is it?
A woman being electrocuted.
Oh, nice. My radio show, when I went from live DJing to doing radio shows, it was a totally different thing altogether. And as you know, you sat there on your own, you're talking to, the way I was taught, you're talking to one person only. You're out there and you imagine somebody sat in front of you and you're talking to that person. Although you're talking to the world, you're talking to one person, and that's how you've got to deal with it. But I did, my show was pretty much a music comedy show, and I had lots and lots of characters. As I said to you earlier, I had a guy called Wolfman Geordie. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the UK, but a Geordie in the UK is somebody who comes from Newcastle. In the northeast, and they talk like, "Why are you like you, right? Like, you know, you talk like that, like," and that's how they talk, and that's a Geordie accent. And this guy had the Wolfman Jack voice with a very deep voice, but with a Geordie accent.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, right, like you know. Oh, it's all right, but take it everywhere.
And he what we characterised him as was an old man, a really old man, and he was a real miserable old bugger. He was.
I can't even do that accent. I could do a lot of different accents, but that's hard to do. A Geordie accent with Wolfman Jack, that's hard.
But this guy had it off to a T, and it was great. And we characterised him as an old man in his 80s, early 90s, who hated everybody, hated life, hated everything. And he used to ring me up live on air, and he used to say, "Is that the DJ?" And I say, yeah, how can I help you? He says, "Can you turn the music down? You keep me awake." And I said, "What do you mean turn the music down? You've got knobs on your radio, mate. Use them, you know." And we'd get into a full-blown argument on air, you know. And he just hated absolutely everything. I can't do it the way this guy did it, but he was fantastic. And we took the mickey out of TV adverts, and we had a guy called, Pete the Pig. We had a guy called Pete the Pig.
Wow, that sounds like fun, man.
It's quite funny. And we used to do quizzes, and I actually invented a game called Radio Darts.
Radio Darts, wow.
We used to play on the radio, and it all started from a piece of equipment that we got when I was working in a nightclub, and it was publicising, what was it? Heineken beer, I think it was. And it was a dartboard on a piece of cardboard, and it had like an arrow on it, and you would spin the arrow, and where the arrow stopped, that was what you got. Double top, you know, whatever, you know, bullseye or whatever. And I incorporated that with all the sound effects of the darts and people cheering and glasses chinking and drinking and this, that and the other. And the way it worked is that people would ring me up, and I'd have two people playing each other, and I would ask them a question. If they got the answer right, then they got to throw a dart. And of course I had all the sound effects of the whoosh, doing, the darts landing into the dartboard and everything.
Awesome.
And it was great. And it worked really well. And as soon as I introduced, we're just about to play Radio Darts now, so get your fingers on the dials, and here we go. The lights on the switchboard were bang, 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 and that was it, you know. And then one night, I had a phone call. I was on air, and I had a phone call from this guy from BBC in the UK. And he said to me, "Hi," he said, "I'm very interested in your game of Radio Darts. Fascinating. How does it work?" And of course I told him exactly how it worked, and within 3 or 4 months they had it on Radio 1 on the BBC.
They stole it off you.
They nicked it from me.
Oh.
I'm not bothered.
Bastards.
I'm really not bothered. If that's what they want to do, and that got them listeners, then fair enough. But, you know, they can steal it and they can say it was their game, but I know in my heart of hearts that I invented that game.
Wow. Where did you get all your sound effects? Did you make them?
Yeah, lots and lots of sound effects. I mean, we had a huge library, a record library, and we had everything. We had sound engineers, newsreaders. We had a lot. It was a proper local radio station. And I actually had, funnily enough, on one of my shows, the show I did on a Sunday morning, I did a 60s music show, and I had more than 87,000 listeners to my show on a Sunday morning. And that's pretty good for a small town, you know. Although it did go over the whole of Devon. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. But all the jingles I made myself. I had some great sound effects, and I did like it. I did like what I did, although the money wasn't particularly very good back then. But I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I loved, in my heart, I loved doing what I was doing. And it was just something, like I said to you earlier, if you love what you do, you'll do it well.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I definitely don't make a lot of money off this, but I love doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I do it. And, you know, I add a lot of my sound effects myself. Like, I'll use this Jews harp right now, and, you know, I'll play games with the... say somebody calls in, you know, I'll ask them, hey, let's do a game right now. I need you to... Can you please jump up and down a little bit, and I'll do the sound effects. You're a rabbit. You're a big big rabbit.
That's exactly the sort of stuff. And I had a lady, I can't remember what I called her, something like Annabelle or something like that, and she was Canadian, and she was a friend of mine who lived pretty close to me, and she used to go to the nightclub where I was working at the time, and I asked her if she wanted to come in and do some voiceovers, and she said, what for? And I said, well, I have an idea. So we went into the studio when it was closed one night, and we did lots and lots and lots and lots of short little clips, her saying things, hi, would you like a coffee? What time is it? Don't you think it's about time we went home? You know, little clips like this. And I had about 100 of them. And I could have a conversation with her. And she would always come in at the beginning of the day, just as I'm starting my show. Hi, do you want a coffee? Well, excuse me, I'm on air. Can you just wait for 2 seconds? Oh, I'm so sorry, you know, and this sort of stuff, you know. And these were all lined up, these little jingles, and I would just press them and have a conversation with her. And she was never there. It was just the jingle. And everybody, when we did the road shows, we went out and did the road shows out around the city and all over the place. And people would say, hey, where's Annabelle? I want to meet her. She sounds gorgeous. She was, actually. She was a real person, a real Canadian lady. Although she only ever came into the studio and recorded her voice, and it was brilliant. And that went on for must have been 3 or 4 years I used her voice.
Oh, yeah. Here's one of our jingles here.
All kind of colors, and they spin round, and those creatures, it was just wheels in the sky. Wheels within wheels, all giant. I saw wheels in the sky. I saw lights, and they were spinning. Wheels in the sky. There is only one source that can have wheels in the sky. Wheels in the sky. There's one type of wheel in the sky. Period. Ezekiel chapter 1, wheels in the sky, and nothing else.
That's one.
That actually is quite bizarre, because that takes me back to my radio show, and I had another guy that I used to use on my radio show called Commodore, and the Commodore was a somebody from outer space. And I had a very similar type of jingle than that to that, and it would come down, and he would come down and land in his spaceship with all the sound effects and landing and everything. And his voice was very similar to that, but a lot deeper. We used the voice changer, and he had although he had an echo in his voice, he had a really deep voice. But Commodore only came once a night to my radio show when I was on. Once a week. On my radio show, but he came to give good advice. He would talk to me about the perils of drugs, the perils of drink, sex before marriage, sexual diseases, sex underage.
Oh my gosh!
And he would talk about it and how he would come down, because he said we are from a planet where we do nothing wrong. We all love each other. There are no wars. There is only pure love.
There is no wars. Only pure love.
Something like that.
Yeah, exactly like that, but much deeper, and that's exactly how he was. But you could understand what he was saying. You could listen to him, and I would talk to him and say, well, wow, this is amazing. Yeah, why don't kids today think like that, you know? And it was educational more than anything. And he came up with some fantastic ideas, some great stuff. And this was my engineer that did all this for me. It wasn't all my doing. A guy that used to come along with me, Ray, and he was fantastic. He was from the Isle of Man. The Isle of Man? I think the Isle of Man. it kills and how it destroys families and how it destroys marriages and how it will destroy your insides, each internal organ, bit by bit by bit. And when you've lost everything, all you want to do is kill yourself. And why should your life have to be like that? Because drugs, awful, awful, awful things. And it's one of the things in my life that I hate the most. And I just can't put into words how much I despise and hate drugs. Absolutely hate them. I've seen so many people go down, not just drugs, but drink as well. I mean, drink, we all like a drink. We all like to, get merry and have a few drinks and get drunk sometime. But when it goes beyond that, or when it becomes a habit that you just can't get out of, and you need a drink first thing in the morning, you need a drink during the day, you need a drink last thing at night, that's when you know you've got a problem. And I've lost so many of my friends through drinking and drugs. Even to a guy, funnily enough, who, in fact, I've got his story right in front of me. I was going to tell you about him earlier. He used to come in the pub where I used to drink, and I'll call him Ian for this story. And he never used to eat much. Very, very intelligent guy. Very intelligent guy. He was an ex-Marine, and he was married. And he, for some reason, I don't know what it was, he turned to drink, and he couldn't stop drinking. And he wouldn't eat much. And I used to say to him, well, why don't you eat? And he said, because I'm drinking Guinness. That's my food. That's a food. I said, it's not, Ian. It really is not. And he got to the point where he was drinking first thing in the morning. As soon as the shop opened, he'd go up and buy cheap wine or cheap cider, strong, the strong, horrible stuff that rots your guts. And he would drink that, and then he'd come into the pub after lunch, and he'd get drunk in the pub, and then go back out to the shop again and get some more bottles of cider or bottles of wine and drink and drink. And this is every day, 7 days a week. And he was just constantly drunk. And it got to the point where he started to get a swollen stomach. And my friend, who's an ex-nurse, said his days are numbered, Spooks, mate. Honestly, his days are numbered. And I said, why? He said, well, just look at his colour. He's like a yellow colour. That is not good. That means his organs are starting to give up on him. He has to go to the hospital now once a week to have fluid drained off his stomach. And it was soul destroying. It really was soul destroying just to see this guy wreck himself like this. And within 2 months, he was dead. A fantastic. You see, the thing is, my brother-in-law, he's not a great believer in the spiritual matters like myself. He thinks it's such a load of rubbish. Until one night, when I talked to him about it, he said, load of rubbish, and he walks off and just slams the door and off he goes. And then one night, my sister rang me up and he said, my brother-in-law's been seeing strange things. I said, what do you mean strange things? He's drunk again. He said, no. In the middle of the night, he started seeing pictures in his mind, and he was awake of, he's a lorry driver. He drives big trucks, big, 18-wheeler sort of 20-ton trucks or whatever they are. And he goes abroad, he goes all over the place, and he lives in the cab for 5 days a week. And he kept seeing the same vision over and over and over again. He's driving down a country lane, and in the ditch on the left-hand side is a bicycle and a skeleton. And he kept seeing this same vision every week. He would see this vision until one day my sister rang me up and said last night he was downstairs and he was in the kitchen having a drink, crying. He was actually crying, and she said, I went down to see what was going on, and he said, I don't want to see any more of this. I don't want to see this vision again. What is it? Am I going to die? Am I going to have a crash? He said, I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. He said, just can you tell them to go down to see Spooks in Devon and, show him, not me. And he kept seeing his dad also at the end of the bed who had died. And he told his dad, he said, please go down and see Spooks in Plymouth. I don't want to see this. So it was probably about a month after that, I had a phone call from my sister, and she said, do you want to sit down? I said, why? She said, I just want to tell you something. I said, it's not your husband, he's not dead, is he? She said, no, but it is about him. I said, what's happened? She said, well, he was in France in his lorry, and he was driving along a country lane in France, and all of a sudden, he said he wasn't going particularly fast because he was looking for somewhere, and all of a sudden, from a ditch at the side of the road, this guy stumbled out in front of his lorry, and he said, I hit the brakes and stopped the lorry on a dime, literally, bang, like that. And this guy just collapsed in front of his lorry, and there was a bicycle in the ditch. He'd fallen off his bicycle. The bicycle had gone into the ditch. This guy had crawled out in front of his lorry, and he just collapsed in front of the lorry. So he jumped out, and he realised this guy was having a heart attack because my brother-in-law had already had a couple of heart attacks. And he got this, I don't know what it was, something he puts on his tongue to help him with the heart attack, and he was doing heart massage or whatever he was doing, and a tractor came the other way with a guy on it, but he was French, and of course my brother-in-law doesn't speak French, and he was trying to explain that he hadn't run the guy over, he needed the ambulance, or the gendarme as they call them over there. And eventually he understood, and he got his mobile phone out and he called the gendarme, and a helicopter came over, picked this guy up and took him off to hospital and saved his life. And when he left his name and address and phone number with the local police in France, or the local gendarme, and it was a few weeks later he had a phone call from this guy, and he was the mayor of the town, and he was the guy who'd had the heart attack, and my brother-in-law had saved his life.
Wow.
And he said, I want you to come over, and the town, you have the key to the town. He says, we will pay for whatever you and all of your family. You want to come over for a couple of weeks and have a good time? He says it's all on the town. We'll pay for it. And he said, no. He said, I don't want to come over. He said, thanks very much. He said, but what I would like you to do, whatever money you were going to spend on me, put towards your heart foundation over in your local town or over in France somewhere. And that's what he did.
Amazing story.
So,
that
fascinating.
was amazing.
Anyway, just to round it all off, it was his dad who'd come through, and he was showing him all these visions and pictures. And I was stood in my little cottage, and my lounge, or my front room, is upstairs in my cottage. It's a sort of an upside down house. And I was stood at the top of the stairs, and I was talking to my sister about exactly what had happened. And up my staircase, I couldn't believe it. And I've seen orbs before, but I've never seen an orb. You know what an orb is, don't you?
Oh, I've seen many.
Yeah, well, this was the size of a football. And it came up my stairs. It was pure, beautiful white light, really slowly coming up the stairs. And it got to the top of the stairs, and it hovered in front of me. And I went, oh, my God! My sister said, what's up, what's up? I said, you are not going to believe what I'm looking at, I'm staring at right now. And all of a sudden it went, whoosh! And it was gone, out the end of the cottage. And the feeling of love this orb had left behind. And I know who it was. It was my brother-in-law's dad. He'd come down because we'd sorted all the problem out between us, and he'd got through it, and he was okay. And that was his dad coming down. But I'd said to him before, because his dad was called Joe, and I'd said to him previously, probably 2 years previous to this all going on, and he said, oh, shut up, will you? It's such a load of rubbish. And anyway, I'd gone out to get the Sunday newspaper, and I walked back, and I was trying to explain to him about his dad is okay, you know, everything's going to be fine. And he said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to, just give us the paper. So I threw it down on the coffee table, and it flew open, and the...
Hang on right there. Oh, yeah. We're going to have some music. We're going to, in honor of the heavy alcohol, I'm going to do a song, Wolfpack Original. This is from the, what do we call ourselves again? Oh, yeah. Monster Rock Band. And this is a Monster Castle Paranormal Original. This is called... Vomit.
Vomited.
Serve it to me in a styrofoam dish.
I don't remember eating that.
Sports magazine on the on the inside of the newspaper fell down on the floor, and the headline said Joe is okay now, and that was the headlines on that was right in front of him. That was his dad's name, because he wanted to know how his dad was in spirit. And I told him, he said, load of rubbish, I don't believe you. And I said, there you go, mate, there's your answer from your dad.
Yeah. I get these little synchronicities all the time. That's a major synchronicity. It's impossible for that to happen by coincidence, I think. That's so cool.
Well, when I'm having so much happen to me all the time, every other night, at least 2-3 times a week, I'm having visitations. I'm having somebody coming through.
Oh.
I'm having somebody waking me up and showing me stuff. It's more than, just a coincidence. I know there is life after death, and I don't care what anybody says. I lost my brother in 2012 on the day before my birthday. And I was at my sister's house.
Can I just say one thing before I forget, though?
Yeah.
Be careful of the red ones. The big or red orbs. I've encountered some of those. The white ones are usually, very peaceful. The red ones are not so much.
They're not so good. They're an energy, real.
I'm not sure if they're.
Energy,
I don't know if they're evil or what, but I just say be careful of them. I'm not sure what they are.
Well, there are different coloured orbs, and they all do different things. They all mean different things, and you can actually read about them on the internet. And I won't even pretend that I know about them all, because I don't. But what I was about to say was about my brother. Before I go, he died in 2012, or the day before my birthday, just to prove a point that they do come back from the dead. And it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was woken up, and I was lying in bed with my eyes closed, and all of a sudden I saw my brother on the side of the road. In a vision, in my head, he was stood at the side of the road, and my late grandmother came up and stood beside him, and they walked across the road together, and I watched them walk across slowly, looking each way, and got across to the other side and waved, and that was it. And I just said, "You've died. You're dead, aren't you? You've crossed over." And that's him showing me that he's crossed over, and my gran came to take him. And it was probably about a week later. He had actually died. That was when he died, right at that time. And he had showed me. But a week later, I called him from spirit, and I said to him, "Peter, why did you have to die? I know you had bad cancer, but why did you have to die?" And he showed me a picture of himself stood in a room, in the corner of the room, and he had a towel over his shoulder, and he took the towel off his shoulder and he threw it down on the floor into the corner of the room, and straight away I knew he was just saying he'd thrown the towel in, he'd had enough. He couldn't cope anymore, he couldn't go on anymore. He'd gone from 18 and a half, 19 stone down to about 4 stone. Wow. And that was it. He just couldn't carry on anymore. No. But the fact being, although it sounds like a very sad story, and I do miss my brother terribly.
I feel for you.
I know that he's okay, and I know I can talk to him, and I know he can hear me, and when he wants to tell me something, he'll come through.
Yeah, it was like when my grandfather died, I had this warm wind just come from, it seemed like it came from above the house. I was in his backyard, actually, and right. I remember I was doing some work in his backyard by the garden, I think, helping my grandmother do something. And I felt this warm wind just hit me, and it just kept pushing on me. Nothing else around. It just was pushing on me. He was in the hospital at the time, and then I just felt all this warmth come through my body, and I just knew that was him. He had passed away. And it was only about an hour later that we got the phone call.
Yeah. And he had, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, another way of our loved ones letting us know that they are around us after they've passed. Have you ever heard of angel feathers?
No.
I've written about that on my blog, actually. And angel feathers are amazing. They really, truly are amazing things. And they are a way of our loved ones, our friends, coming through and just letting us know that they're with us. And they're usually a tiny little fluffy white feather. And although you say that, it could be a bird, it could be a little baby bird. Yeah, of course it could be. But these angel feathers are found in the most bizarre places. Like my sister found hers next to her hospital bed, 2 of them together, when she lost 2 of her friends had died.
Wow.
Now, they don't use anything in hospitals with feathers in them at all. But they were both next to her bed, side by side. Or you will find them like a friend of mine in South Africa has come through, and they could be in the sugar bowl. They could be on the toilet seat. They could be on the dashboard of your car. But they are going to be in a place where you will not miss them. And it's going to be... If you have a problem in your life, if it's an anniversary of a loved one, their wedding anniversary who's died, somebody who's died, their birthday, the date of their death, or your birthday, but they will come through and just to say, hey, look, I'm here. Everything's cool.
That is so neat.
Oh, they're amazing. They are amazing, and I write about them in all of my books.
I bet you so many people have probably not noticed them.
And you don't? Well, if you did, I never did until I got into spiritual stuff, and I'd probably seen thousands of them. And until I learned about angel feathers, and I've written about them now, and now on my birthday, on April the 1st this year, I was going out to my car, and it was wet and windy, and it was blowing a gale. And for some reason, I thought about my brother who died. When I stepped out my house, I was getting up to my car, and what was stuck to the window of my car, on my driver's door window. Now, this angel feather could have been absolutely anywhere on that car or on the ground, but it was stuck to the driver's door window where I had to go and open the door and see it.
Well, I think I'm going to have to give all of our listeners who donate money to the Monster Castle of Paranormal Radio, then we're going to send some angel feathers out to everybody for your donations. That's what are we going to do from the Vatican. What do you think, eh?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, do you get anyways, that was being silly there.
The Monster Castle Paranormal Radio Show. We explore the paranormal phenomenon with researchers and skeptics from all walks of life and beyond. Fridays and Saturdays, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, on KTLK, Digital Broadcasting Network, thefringe.fm. Visit our website at monstercastleparanormal.com.
give us a donation today. Thank you very much.
It's Father Guido. He comes out once in a while.
Right.
Yeah. Usually he talks about how he forcefully baptizes aliens.
Oh, right, crikey.
Yeah. He's very
well.
silly.
That's another something I could get into as well. You see, is spaceships and aliens, because I went out with a girl who. Do we have enough time? Because,
sure, we have lots of time.
Right, okay. Because I'll make this the last story because I want to move on and get something done and
all right.
And have a few drinks. I think.
Well, thank you, sir. We really appreciate your time, and you are amazing to listen to.
No problem.
I could listen to you even if you were drunk all night long.
Just the final story was about a girlfriend of mine I was going out with. This is when I was DJing in the nightclubs, and she had two sisters. Her elder sister had gone out for a meal. She was probably 23, 24, 25, I don't know, something like that at the time. And she'd gone out with a boyfriend, and they were going out for a meal, and they had an argument. She had a glass of wine in front of her. She'd had a couple of sips out of the glass of wine. They had an argument, so she chucked it in his face and stormed out and caught a taxi. She came home, and as she was driving down the hill, in the back of the taxi going home, just pulling up to the bungalow she lived in, there was a bright light above the next street, and it just caught the corner of her eye, and she looked up at the light and then looked back. The taxi stopped. She paid the taxi, started to walk up the garden path, and all of a sudden there was a circle of light started flashing above the next street, but above the houses. And it was all different colours, going round in a circle. And she thought, that's what I just saw just now. So she ran for the back door of the house. And as she started to run and just put her hand on the left hand on the door handle to open the door, a very thin pencil green beam, she said, came out of the bottom of this, whatever it was, and it went to the back of her hand. And it stuck in the back of her hand. And this pencil beam was just there. There was no noise from it or anything, but she said I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything at all, and I don't know whether it was 5 seconds, 10 seconds, a minute, 5 minutes, I don't know, but I just stood there and I could not move. And she said suddenly this green pencil beam shot back up into this, whatever it was, this craft, and she said she looked up and it went whoosh, and it was gone. In a split second it was gone. And she ran in the house screaming and screaming. And Mum and Dad were in bed. It was about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And my girlfriend was actually in there in the house waiting for me to come back from the nightclub. And she was looking after my little border collie dog. And she went running in and explained to my girlfriend what had happened. And she just got a bottle of gin out and started pouring drinks. She was so scared. And she went into the toilet and came back out and sat down, and my little border collie dog went and sat next to her and rubbed up against her the back of her hand, and she went, ouch! And when she looked on her hand, there was a layer of skin missing from the back of her hand where this pencil green beam had gone into her hand. And that made it even worse, of course, so she got drug. So it was probably about 3 hours, 2.5 hours later, I came back from the nightclub. And when I got in there, they told me what had happened, and I said, well, that is pretty serious stuff, let's do something about it. So I called the police and I said, hi guys, I said, what do you do when, if you get struck by an alien or something? And they hung up on me 2 or 3 times, and I kept calling back and I said, look, please, I want a phone number. And excuse me, and they gave me a phone number of this guy who did all the local UFO stuff. And this was 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. We rang him up, and he came straight across. As it happened, he was only about 2 miles away, and he came straight across to the house with all his cameras and his gizmo and everything else. And he sat talking to this girl about what had happened, and he showed her photographs. And he had a photograph of a UFO, and she said, that's the one. And she'd drawn a picture, and the picture she had drawn on this piece of paper and coloured in was exactly the same as the photograph. And the next day I went around the houses where this thing was supposed to be floating above, and I knocked on the doors and I asked if anything strange had happened around about 11 o'clock, 11:30, whenever it was, and I told them what had happened, and a couple of them just slammed the door in my face as they would. And one lady said, "Oh no," she said, "my cat was acting very strange." She said, "I went to put it out as I normally do before I go to bed, and its fur all stood up on end, and it went the cat, and it gone back into the house and hid." And she said, "I could not put that cat outside, it would not go out." And then a couple of doors up, there was another lady, had a little poodle. She said, "Yeah, oh my goodness," she said, "my dog went bizarre." She said he was running around picking all toys up and taking them to his little box and hiding the toys underneath his blanket. She said he's never done that before. And this was exactly on the time when this supposed UFO was seen. Anyway, to round it off, she went to the hospital and to find out about this burn on her hand. And they asked how she got it, and she told them, and they sort of semi-disbelieved her. And she said, "Well, why? What is it?" And they said, "Well, it's a radiation burn." Now, where would she get that from?
Exactly. And didn't they take it a little more serious once they realized it's a radiation burn? Why would they doubt her at all? Because where the hell is she going to get that?
They obviously did what they needed to do in the hospital, but that was pretty much as far as it went. And apart from the local newspaper getting hold of the story, and they came round and they told the story in the newspaper.
What year was that?
Crikey. 1970s, late 70s, early 80s. It would have been, and it was over Plymouth in the UK.
Late 70s. I'm writing this down.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, because there should be an article on this, right? Early 80s?
Oh, there is, yeah. There was an article in the newspaper, which is I'll tell you the name of the newspaper. It was either the Western Morning News.
Western or Western?
Western, ERN, Western Morning News. Or the Evening Herald, which is a Plymouth newspaper in the UK, which is not where I live, but I live outside of Plymouth, but I used to spend a lot of time in Plymouth when I was DJing, because that's where all the nightclubs were.
Okay,
but
cool.
I live quite a way out now, out on the moors, which is absolutely lovely. Suits me down to the ground.
And that's Plymouth,
pretty much.
UK.
You haven't had all the stories of everything that's happened, but I mean, my books are full of these stories.
Yeah. That story there, though, I have tons more questions and stuff, and
right.
Wow, I don't even know where to start. We have to do another show.
Well, I can't do a show on UFOs because I don't really know anything else about them, to be honest.
So that was actually your girlfriend it happened to, right?
No, that was my girlfriend's sister.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was, yeah.
And I honestly can't remember the name.
Radiation burn on her hand. Do you think she was abducted?
It might have been 81. It might have been 1981, because I think I just bought my first house. I'm sure it was about 1981.
All right. Hey, do you think she was abducted? Did she think she had time loss?
Well, she didn't know, because as she said, she didn't know. She said, as far as she knows, she was just stood there, and she couldn't move. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't move her hands, her legs, her feet. She couldn't scream. She couldn't say anything. She was just stuck there, and she didn't know whether it was 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, half an hour, or what. She just did not know.
Yeah.
And she's still got that scar to this day, still on her hand.
Does it have a pattern, the scar? Does it look like a certain geometric shape, or is it just round, or what is it?
Yeah, it was pretty similar shape to the shape of the UFO, funnily enough.
Wow. And what was that shape? Like saucer shape?
It was sort of an oval shape with a little lump on the top.
That's bizarre. Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, the only other thing I know about UFOs is back in 1974-75, when we had a very hot summer over here, and I just recently moved down to the south. And we'd had a barbecue in the farmhouse where I was living at the time, and me and all my mates were just lying next to the fire looking up into the starry sky, and it was beautiful. My eyesight was amazing then. I mean, it's not so good now, but I was looking off into the distance, and there was 2 stars right? And as I was looking at it, I would say they were probably about 2 feet apart as I was looking at it. And then from the right-hand star was a little white light, and it travelled across the 2 feet from one star to the other star in a dead straight line, from right to left, across, and then when it got to the left-hand star, it stopped. And then all of a sudden, it came back again from the left-hand star, across to the right-hand star. And I said to my mate, I said, have a look at this up here. And I tried to point out where I could see it, and eventually he found it. And he said, yeah, I can see that. He said, it's a satellite. I said, no, it's not a satellite. A satellite wouldn't be that far up, and it wouldn't go from star. I know when you see a light and you see a star, there's nothing there. As far as we're concerned, in the third dimensional world anyway. But who's to say that that light that we see up there in space isn't actually a burned out star? It might be something else. It might be a place where UFOs go to regenerate, to get energy, it might be a porthole for them to go through into another world, another time. We don't know. I mean, we're pretty stupid down here on Earth, really, when it comes to that sort of stuff, because we really do not know. And that's about as much as I know on UFOs. I still don't know to this day what it was.
That was a great story, man. Nobody really knows what they are. I've seen so many weird things, and we don't know what these things are.
No. I mean, do you think that... I do, in the back of my mind, I think that all this spiritual stuff and the ghosts I see, I think they're all linked. I do honestly think that UFOs, aliens, ghosts and spirits, I think it's all one. I do honestly believe that our God is actually an alien in a massive, huge, great big mothership. And when I say a mothership, I'm talking something that's thousands of miles big. This mothership, and it's up there. We can't see it, and although we can't perceive that in our human brain, how they can make something disappear or how they can make something shoot off at a rate of knots that is impossible to do a right-hand turn at that sort of speed, you know, a right-angle turn at that sort of speed, because we haven't engineered that sort of thing yet. We don't understand it, but they have been around for millions and millions of years, even back to the days of cavemen. You've only got to look in the caves and you see little drawings of cavemen with a circle around the head.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was that a helmet?
No, what the hell is exactly? What is that? What is that? And the strange creatures, like, wow, what are these things? If you don't see, what the hell is that? And then they've got right next to it pictures of animals drawn anatomically correct.
Exactly.
And so why are they making these weird things beside these, you know, that are recognizable animals that are normal animals, and then you got these weird things beside them?
I think that UFOs and aliens certainly had something to do with early man. I had a vision once when I asked my spirit guides what was my most spectacular life I have ever lived, and they showed me a picture of space. I'm trying to think of it in my mind because I've had so many stories. And I was shown a picture of space, I was shown a bear, I was shown a mothership, I was shown stars, I was shown something that looked like Saturn, I was shown a picture of what I think was Mars, a dead planet, and then I was shown a picture of a beautiful Earth, like the Garden of Eden. It was just beautiful green grass, lush trees, lovely rivers, and then it showed me a picture of, I presume was me, but as an alien. I was long skinny legs with an alien's head, and I was walking through this grass, looking around everywhere, and then all of a sudden I was whisked off and I went back to the dead planet, and then I was whisked back again to the green planet with all the trees, only this time I was floating above the planet whether I was in a craft or floating, I don't know what it was, but I was looking down in the grass, and there were camps, little camps in the grass down below, and people, little aliens looking out of these tents or teepees or whatever they were, and they were waving at me up in space, up in the sky. They were waving, which I spoke to again a lady who is much wiser than me, who has written many, many books, and she said that it sounds to me as though you were a scout. She said, and it looks. She said, but when I say this to you, Spook, she said, don't, for goodness sake, think that you are any better than anybody else, because you're not. You've lived that life, you've done that job, and you did what you had to do in that life, and now you've moved on to something else, and you're no better than anybody else, so don't think you are. You did what you had to do, and you were a scout. You went out looking for another place to live, and I strongly believe that we came from something like Mars to another planet because we messed up big time on that planet over there, and we had to find somebody else.
That is right.
I saw wheels in the sky, all kind of colors, and they spin round, and those it was just wheels in the sky, wheels within wheels, all giant. I saw wheels in the sky, I saw lights, and they were spinning, wheels in the sky. One source can have wheels in the sky, wheels in the sky. There's one type of wheel in the sky, period. You see each other baby from the fourth
dimension. Did I forget to mention a thing? She could sing with a fifth dimensional ring. In a voice that would sound like angels coming from the sky. She could sing. She could sing. She was a groovy little baby with a fifth dimensional ring. In a voice, that's right, alright, dig it, yeah. From the Wolfman, sing it out now, oh yeah. Here we go. Groovy little baby from the fourth dimension. Did I forget to mention one thing? She could sing. Groovy little baby with a fifth dimensional ring. In a voice that is. She could sing like an angel coming from the sky. She could sing. Groovy baby with a fifth dimensional ring. In a voice that is, yeah, come from the sky. You're here with Dave Cruz and Wolfman Mike. And please listen to our new network,
KTLK DB The Fringe.fm.
All right, everybody come on out and listen, and we're gonna have a lot of fun now because we all joining forces. All right, and this is going to be where the disclosure comes from. Yeah, it's where all the freaks hang out.
Hey Jeff, how you doing, man?
Hey man, how's it going?
All right, yeah. We're just you remember Spooks, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I got the third part on this time. The show, I put it all three together. It's really nice. So I got the last 15 minutes, I think, of Spooks to listen to, and then we could comment on it if you want. You want to hear it?
Yeah, man.
All right, I'll just dive right into it.
Somewhere else to live, and I think that we're doing exactly the same thing again. We're going to cock this one up and mess it all up, and we're going to have to go and find another planet to move on to. Because we haven't learned. The human race just has not learned yet, has it?
Not at all. No, they keep messing up, and well, there's too many greedy people out there that don't really care about nature.
No, they don't, and it's all about money. Unfortunately, that's what it's all about. And they don't care because what their views on it is.
As a matter of fact, we're included. We are as people, the human race is included in their non-caring about nature, as us being part of nature. They don't care about us either. They don't care about the common folk at all. They don't care if we live or die.
I again went back to my spirit guides one day, and after my brother had died, and I said to my guides, I've actually got 3 spirit guides, and I said to them, can you show me what my heaven would be like when I die and go to heaven? What's it going to be like, please? I would like to know if that's possible. And they showed me a picture of what would be my perfect heaven, which was lush green grass, beautiful fields, a beautiful waterfall with a little trickling river, a little bench next to it, and I was sat under the trees, and that would be my perfect heaven. That is what I would class as heaven. Now, I've always believed that heaven is what you want, what you love, what is in your heart. So I decided to ask my brother who died, my brother Peter, who was already, I believe, in heaven. And I pulled him through one day out of spirit, and I said, can you please show me, I know you're in heaven, but what is your heaven like? Can you show me? And you won't believe what he showed me. He showed me a shopping mall. And he was walking around this busy shopping mall, in and out and in and out and in and out the shops. That was Peter's heaven. That's what he loved. He loved shopping. And he would go every day if he could shopping. And that was his heaven. That's where he is.
Wow, that'd be so cool, just to go buying stuff every day and just,
Yeah.
Where does he put all this stuff in heaven, though? Like, he's got to have, every day he gets something else, It's like a kid opening a present every day of the year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to mosey, I think.
Yeah, okay, you know what? Because I'm going to air this on New Year's, would you like to say Happy New Year's to everybody?
I will say Happy New Year to each and every one of your listeners, to yourself and everybody listening to the radio show. And God bless, and I hope you have a great 2017.
And to you too, sir. From everyone at Monster Castle Paranormal, Happy New Year to you and your family and all your friends out there. And good luck with... everything, any way we can help, we're here.
That's great. And I'll just quickly mention my books again, just in case.
I was just going to say,
because we have been on the air for about 2 hours now.
Yeah, you got to mention all
my
your...
books are all on Amazon. I write under the name of Spooks, Spooks, and my first book is called There's a Ghost in My House. That was my very first one. I made a few mistakes in that one because it was the first book I'd ever written. It wasn't written 100% the way I would have liked it. Some of the photographs were a little bit small, but I learned a valuable lesson from that. My second book, A Walk on Spirit Street, is much, much better. It's 200 pages. And my third book, they're all e-books, by the way. My third book, Ashes to Ashes and Back, is also on Amazon, and they're all ebooks, all by Spooks.
Nice.
And they're all short stories. Each and every story is absolutely true. Any photograph in there of ghosts, spirits, or orbs have never been seen before.
This is something I'm definitely getting into.
Well, when I was away over Christmas, I was talking to a lady, my sister's next door neighbour. I have written about her in my third book. Unfortunately, I didn't actually have the photograph, but she's kept the photograph. She's spoken to the family, and she said I can use it in my fourth book. And what it was she went to see her mum in hospital, and she was an old lady. She was dying. She knew she was dying. And she took a couple of photographs of her lying in the hospital bed. And she said, Spooks, have a look at these photos. And she showed me the first photograph, and I said, oh, bless, she looks absolutely beautiful. And she was just lying in the hospital bed with her eyes closed. She said, well, you've seen nothing yet. Look at the second photo. And these were all taken on an old Nokia mobile phone, nothing that you can edit or anything like that. She took the second photograph. She was still in the same position in bed, but there was a mist like a fog around the bed forming. And I said, whoa. She said, wait till you see the third photo. And she showed me the third photograph, and there was her mum's body was lifting out of her body on the bed. And she said, can you see what I can see? I said, whoa, yeah. I said, I've seen some amazing photographs in my time. I said, but this has to be the best I've ever seen. And she said, can you notice anything different between the body that's lifting out and the body of my mum on the bed? I said, well, they both look exactly the same. She said, no, they're not. Look closer. I said, I can't see any difference. She said, well, the body that's actually lifting out hasn't got any wrinkles. Her hair is all combed and looking nice. I went, oh my God, yes. And I said, well, obviously she's ready to go and pass over. And it is the most amazing photograph. Unfortunately, I still haven't got it yet, but I know she still has it on her old phone.
Do you know I've actually seen something like this for real, and everybody at the funeral home saw it too?
It happens a lot there, yeah.
Where her body was, you could see two. You could see her her living, her corpse, and her spiritual living entity body was sort of superimposed on top of it, and you could see her breathing.
Amazing.
And like she was just laying there sleeping.
I had a friend called Sue. I'm godfather to her daughter now, and she said to me, and she knew she was dying of cancer, and she said to me, you look after my daughter, otherwise I'm going to come back and haunt you. She was only joking, but she did come back and haunt me anyway. But and when she was in the hospital, we knew once she'd gone to this hospital that there was no coming back. And her husband, who was a total, absolute non-believer, he was sat on the side of the bed, and Sue was just lying there. And he said to me, Spooks, he says, honestly, I am not kidding. He said, you know I don't believe in any of this rubbish. I said, that's up to you, mate. He said, but I'm telling you now, I saw Sue stand up. Her body came out of her body, stood at the side of the bed, walked to the curtains that were closed around the hospital bed, turned and looked at me and put a hand up and waved, and then went to walk through the curtain at the side of the bed, and her body just disappeared. But the curtains went whoosh and moved as she went through.
Wow.
And he said, I am a non-believer, John. He said, but mate, I saw that.
That is incredible. So you made, or not you, but he was made into a believer at that point, hopefully.
Yeah. John was a great believer after that. Yeah, he changed his mind about everything.
Good.
And I mean, when you see something like that, how can you not believe?
Yeah, that's exactly true.
Fascinating. And on her daughter's 21st birthday, she came back to me. Sue did, and I was lying in my bed, and I have at the time I lived in an old cottage, and I had a dehumidifier for getting rid of the damp, because it was a very old and very damp cottage, and I used to come in from the pub and chuck my clothes on top of this little machine and just jump into bed and go to sleep. And then one night, early morning, 1:30, 2 o'clock, I heard my clothes falling on the floor, and I thought, oh, they're falling down. Oh, I'll just leave it, I'm not going to bother. And then all of a sudden I heard a squeaking noise. Now, on the front of this dehumidifier, there was a wheel, and you had to turn this wheel to turn the dehumidifier on. And I could hear it squeak, 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 as it was being turned. And all of a sudden, the dehumidifier turned on. Bzzz. And I sort of lifted my head up and opened one eye, and I could see the green light on this dehumidifier, and it was working. So I put the light on at the side of the bed, and I looked, and my clothes, they hadn't just fallen off. They were over a metre away from the dehumidifier. They'd been thrown across the room. And I said, I know it's you, Sue. I know why you're here. It's your daughter's birthday, 21st, and I will tell her tomorrow. God bless. So the next morning, I called my goddaughter, and I said, your mum was here last night. She said, yeah, she's been here this morning as well. I said, why, what happened? She said, well, I was in the shower and all of the taps turned on in the bathroom. Every single one of them. And I was in the bathroom on my own. And she knew straight away it was her mum, wishing her a happy 21st birthday. But they come through in any way they can, whether they flash a light, turn the taps on, sit on the side of your bed, call your name, tap you on the shoulder, a nice warm wind blowing against you as it happened to you. Whatever method they can use to come through, they will use it to let you know that they are there. They're always there. They're never going anywhere. They love you and they will always love you. And there is life after death.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. Well, I'd like to end it right there.
All right, I'm back with Jeff the Gray, and thank you, Spooks, for your awesome stories. We definitely have to have you back on one day. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. So we gonna roll my intro?
Oh yeah, definitely. Jeff has a cool. He's got a great a story. So this is like a breaking news. So I'm gonna have to do this and run this. Breaking news with Jeff the Gray.
March 1st, 2017, BBC News, earliest evidence of life on Earth found. So scientists have discovered what they say could be fossils of some of the earliest living organisms on Earth. They are represented by tiny filaments, knobs, and tubes in Canadian rocks, dated to be up to 4.28 billion, that's billion with a B, years old. So that is not a long time after the planet's formation, and only 100 millions of years before what is currently accepted as evidence for the most ancient life yet found on Earth. So to put that into perspective, the Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago, and at approximately 4.2 billion years ago, that's when they found these fossils. And they say it's very humbling to have the oldest known life forms in your hands and being able to look at them and analyze them. The fossil structures were encased in quartz layers in the so-called Nuvagitic, I'm not sure I pronounced that right, Nuvagitic supracrustal belt. So NSB is a chunk of ancient ocean floor, and it contains some of the oldest volcanic and sedimentary rocks known to science. So the team looked at these sections of rocks that were likely laid down in a system of hydrothermal vents, fissures in the seabed from which heated mineral-rich waters spew up from below. So today, such vents are known to be important habitats for microbes. And Dr. Dominic Papineau, also from UCL, who discovered the fossils of Quebec, thinks this kind of setting was probably also the cradle of life forms between 3.7 and 4.2 billion years ago on the upper and lower age estimates for these NSB rocks.
It really puts things in perspective.
Down here in the cave.
Yeah, it's in Canada, man. That's crazy. I like that. So the oldest, so prior to this, the oldest acknowledged evidence of life on the planet is found in Western Australia, and it's 3.48 billion-year-old rocks. This material, they said, was found to show remnants of stromatolites. These are mounds of sediment formed of mineral grains glued together by ancient bacteria. So this is extremely, this is breaking news. That puts life 4.3 billion years ago on the planet.
So basically, it also puts the theory that Mars had life onto it in a much bigger light, that it is very possible.
Exactly. He said that the Mars exploration rovers Spirit and Opportunity, they had seen rocks that were produced by hydrothermal vents on Mars. So this is pretty much saying that there was water on Mars the same time, for almost 5 billion years ago on both planets. So it's
Do you think there was a war? I think there was a war between Earth and Mars.
And it's actually possible.
There was another planet, though, apparently, Maldek or something like that, and Mars was the moon of that planet. And now that thing has become the asteroid belt because it was destroyed by the people from Earth, apparently.
It's quite possible. So they were saying that these
but there was
these
life
NTB organisms
on all three
come from a time. Yeah.
But what's really weird is that the moon is older than the Earth. That's even stranger yet. And if this is the moon from some other planet that's Mars, and our moon's even older, what the hell is going on?
That is amazing. So pretty much only after a couple of 100 million years after the Earth had been formed is when they actually have evidence of the first forms of life. And those conditions on the Earth were approximately the same on Mars at the same time. So it's possible that Mars has some of those microorganisms. They just haven't found them yet. It's kind of a long way away.
Suspenseful. And when are we going to find out more? And when is one of the Martian creatures going to reveal themselves as a shapeshifter that lives among us?
Right. Well,
and they probably are the reptilians that taste just like chicken when me and Ugg barbecue them.
Well, a more perspective view on this is that the first great apes appear as Homo sapiens only happened 200,000 years ago. That is it. So we're basically, if you put that in a 24-hour timeline, humans have only been on Earth, or we've only been in a human form for maybe the past 10 minutes.
Oh, but you should hear all the stuff that Michael Salla is talking about Antarctica, that there's spaceships buried there in Antarctica preserving aliens from that planet that was blown up, and they've been there all along for millions of years. And the States apparently already knows about it, and they're digging down in there, and there's a bunch of shit going on down in Antarctica, I'm telling you. That's why we did the news at the start of the show. I did the news, actually have a new news guy. You'll like him.
Good.
Yeah. Marvin Spacey, yeah, he's pretty cool. But yeah, he did it all about Antarctica. And I wanted, actually, Adam had an article from Dr. Michael Salla. We never got into that. But I have it right here, actually, the article.
Yep, I mean, this is not magic. This isn't make-believe stuff. These are rocks that are fossilized, bacteria.
The Nazis were down there. Admiral Byrd was down there. Apparently, there's a whole Nazi Navy warships going down there right now. From Russia is going down to Antarctica. Why? And I don't know. We'll never know. But I also looked up to see whether you could still go down there as a tourist to see whether this is true. And I found out that, yes, you can actually book a trip down from a place in Australia. And I have the website, and you can actually, but it doesn't. They don't land on the continent. They just skirt around it, and it's a sightseeing, and you can see the penguins and the seals and stuff, but they don't actually go onto the land.
Makes you wonder what's going on.
But you can go down there and you can pretend you're going to Antarctica and go around it and say you've been there. But you'll never see like the inner part of that where apparently there's a volcanically heated lake and a tropical area.
I've seen it. I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah. And then they're doing this digging for some buried. There's, I believe there's extraterrestrials that reside there. And that's why no country has taken claim to that continent, because it's already claimed.
Wow.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And makes you wonder, what planet did they come from? What do they call it?
Maldek or something like that? The one that Mars was the moon of. Apparently, that's what Michael Sala is saying. I haven't read all of this stuff, but it's pretty interesting. I just... Adam showed it to me today. Anyways, we gotta go. We can talk about that next time.
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening to Monster Castle Paranormal. Visit our website and donate so that Jeff and I don't have to work anymore. We can just constantly bother you and have shows every night.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm calling in from work.
Yeah, and I have to take work off tomorrow. I mean, I have to mandatory overtime tomorrow, so that's why I had to pre-record this show. And now you can't call in tomorrow.
Yeah, check out our website. You got any comments or suggestions? There's a form on the website. If you have any guests you want us to possibly put on the show, or if you want to be on the show and you have a good story, feel free to send us a message. Our contact information is on the website. MonsterCastleParanormal.com.
You're probably better off to talk to Jeff, because I'm a little rude and rowdy and stuff. And no, I'm just kidding. I'm a nice guy on the phone. I just pretend to be a big bully, and just because Willie hates it, and we got to do that. And anyways, thanks everybody again for listening. I'm going to leave you with some rock and roll from the Blueheads. All right, yeah, dig this, baby. Yeah. I think I am. I'm pushing play. Wow.
Is this the Blueheads silent song?
Yeah, it looks like it's a silent song. I don't know what's going on here. It says it's playing. Oh, there's something definitely wrong with that. Well, that's when we go live, when all of a sudden things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll just have to let monsters out. Igor, let them out. Let the monsters out. Yes, that is good. Well, we can let the monsters out instead. Yeah. We will play the Blueheads some other time. Apparently Igor has removed their heads. And there may be a few headless horsemen.
Awesome.
And ghosts carrying around heads.
The wolf is on the prowl. It's on the prowl tonight.
her alone.
Guys, we're back on live. So I just put us back on. So here we are. I'm gonna play. I don't know if I'm gonna play the intro. It says I don't think I'm gonna bother. We could just go right into it.
Yeah.
Or you want me to play the intro?
Yeah, do the intro. Why not?
You're so.
Yeah, you have a little.
Yeah, I think you better play the intro. Okay, I'm gonna play the intro and then and here we go.
Lead us in.
Yeah, rock and roll, baby. Ghosts, monsters, UFOs, Bigfoot, whatever.
Welcome to the Monster Castle Radio Show. For the extreme paranormal listener. And here is your host, the Wolfman, Mike.
Yeah. This is where the real freaks hang out, alright? Yeah! Let's get some rock and roll, baby, yeah!
Yeah, rock and roll, baby. So we're here, back on a ghost hunt at the Glenhurst, Brant County Art Gallery, right?
Yep.
Wicked. That is awesome. And oh, by the way, we got Les W with us from DM Talk. We got Eric Johnson with us from the Awakening Man from Twitter as well. And we got Marcus Aurelius, my only member of my regular panel, with us tonight. How's it going, guys?
All right.
Hey, very well.
I just put a tweet in the chat room. There is a chat box there, by the way, on Spreaker if you're listening.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Yep. I know nobody's using that one. Most people use the 47 Talk hashtag. So I'm not sure. Hey, Yuck, how's it going, man?
Hey, Boo Boo.
Hey, we're going back ghost hunting again, buddy.
Right on. I'm sorry if I edit everybody back in the chat that's not supposed to be here. Oh yeah, man, let's do it.
All right. Okay, Kim, what do we got to do next?
Okay, well, I gotta go to the basement because I heard something down there.
Nice.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's just me. You have to tag everything. Every room you go in, you have to tag. You have to say, it's just me. Because we got recorders and cameras running everywhere. Just me. Whoa, the lights turn on automatically. That's creepy. Okay. I'm in the basement now of this art gallery. The guys are up in the attic trying to see if they can get anything to move up there. We like to split up a bit. I like to work alone. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I can't believe we got this going on. This is so cool. So close to Halloween and everything.
Right? Yeah. So, we're in the basement, and it's not a very creepy basement, but we were in the boiler room earlier, and like it felt like I walked through a whole shitload of cobwebs, but there was no cobwebs there, and I freaked out.
Oh, I've had that happen.
What?
I've had that happen before to me.
Yeah, I freaked out because I thought it was real cobwebs, so I'm like freaking out. And we turn the lights on. There's no cobwebs on me, and then we did a spider check because I'm terrified of spiders, and that was really weird.
Yuck! Have you ever had that happen to you?
Yeah, I have, but not that strong. It was like, it really felt like my one arm went right through like a giant cobweb.
I had a spider crawl out of my keyboard earlier.
Oh, I tell you, if the devil exists, that's what they look like.
You ever get that other stuff that's sticky all over your face? Yuck!
Oh, one time.
Yeah, one time when you and Joel and Eric and Les were spent the night.
You knew, didn't you? Sorry, man. That's terrible.
Sorry, fucker. I love you.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
All right, never mind.
Oh, you heard it. Don't pretend.
Okay, I heard it. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
I just got a skull.
Okay, we got to get serious. That's kind of hard for us to do.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know. Me too.
Just don't mention my name, and you guys could be a lot more serious.
Okay. Wait, what's your name? Who are you?
Yuck Nasty.
Okay, we won't mention you. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna go into this one room because this room's like too bright. The freaking lights turn on when you walk in the room.
Oh, are they not supposed to do that? Or are they set up for that? Maybe it's got a motion sensor.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. I'm in this creepy boiler room now. This is where, there's my water bottle. I thought I left it down here. This is where I got the cobweb shit all over me. The cob jizz. And it like stinks down here.
Oh, it usually happens when that, yeah.
Yeah, does
Yeah.
It like this?
That sounds normal to me.
So basically, I'm in this boiler room. This is where the employees come down here and like they got like all this storage in here or something. Looks like, and it creeps them out. They can't stay in here long. They run in here to get what they have to get and then to get out.
I'm sorry, but where are you, Kim?
I'm in the basement in a boiler room, like a big dark room where the boiler is.
But where? Like where?
In the art gallery.
She's in Ontario at the Brantford Art Gallery.
The Glenhurst, yeah, it's a art gallery in Brantford.
And it's haunted.
It's like an old mansion turned into an art gallery.
In what Providence? Providence? You hear I said Providence?
Providence? We're in the Providence of Ontario.
Is that how you guys pronounce it?
Hey, I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Well, or whatever, yeah. Providence, whatever. But, yeah, this is pretty creepy in here, and there's a lot of tight spaces, so it's pretty cool. I'm just going to see if something is going to come out and play with me, but... Yeah.
Have you been doing EVPs and stuff, or what?
Oh, yeah, we've been doing EVPs. One of our investigators got poked in the butt pretty hard a couple of times, and he got, like, chills down his back. We got that on Periscope, so people should be able to go and watch that.
And it was a ghost. It wasn't like what you're used to, Yuck.
Yeah, well,
not what you're used to.
It was something. Well, his wife's not here. His wife's not here, so it wasn't her.
And it wasn't you, right?
No, I was sitting across from him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't me. No.
And that happened tonight, right?
Yeah, it happened about an hour ago. Yeah, we were. Oh, someone just touched me.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Oh, she shut up.
It's not like when we go groping in the dark trying to find each other, Yuck. This is totally different.
See, you keep talking to me, so I'm gonna keep fucking talking shit, asshole.
It's totally Kim. Usually what we do in the dark, if we're doing an EVP session, we all sit somewhere or we stand. We don't really move because we don't want any noise.
Yeah.
So this guy got touched pretty hard.
Wow. Yeah.
Kim laughed. Yeah, it was from his wife, hey.
Yeah, it wasn't his wife. Oh my God, there's like a pink tool belt down here. I want this.
Yeah, put that shit on.
I could be like, no, I got a black one, but this one's pink.
Put that fucker on.
A breast cancer tool belt.
It's probably dirty. Yeah, I don't want this on me. It's dirty.
It's always going to be pissed if you put it on, so.
I'm a princess. I don't like putting dirty things on. Oh, here's a ghost. Here's a ghost. It's a 7-foot tall fake ghost. No, they got all the storage in here, so that's what I'm looking at.
What? It's saying that you're super distorted. Oh, strange. Marcus, do you know if we're distorted?
No, it doesn't sound too bad. When you guys get excited or get close to your mic, it gets.
Yeah, all of us are at different levels. Hey, Wolfman, I'll hit record right now because I got good level coming through my headphones, so you can use this later.
Okay. Right on, brother. Thank you.
Oh, love me, touch me, like the ghost did hard.
Don't get any jizz on you.
Not like you did, right?
No, God, that was gross. Okay, I'm in a different part of the basement now. I'm just gonna go looking in here. Ooh, this is creepy.
I could turn the feed down a bit. To me, it doesn't look like it's distorted, but I can't really tell.
Hey, they got a flat screen TV in here.
There's a flat screen TV sitting in a haunted fucking art gallery.
What?
If you're not going to take the pink belt, take that fucker.
Wow.
Take something, right?
Can you guys hear me?
We heard you say flat screen TV, and then I talked over you. Say it again.
No, I didn't. I thought you, because it went dead silent, and I thought you guys, I lost you guys.
Where do we see the Periscope?
What was that?
Oh, you you find the Periscope. Whoa, I'm distorted. Yeah.
Hey, Wolfman, I'm gonna hit live on my fucking Get in the Corner Mixler box too, so we got another fucking broadcast as well as a recording going.
Oh, wicked! So we can find it on both shows.
Yeah.
Nice. So we got a dual broadcast.
Yeah, baby.
Dual.
Don't get excited.
What? It smells like cat piss in here.
Well, there's probably some cat that snuck in a window and peed somewhere.
Probably. Oh, God, I'm getting out of here. Wait, I can't shut this.
What was that? I heard some bonking noises.
No, it's just me trying to shut a door. There. Okay.
Oh, wow.
On this side of the basement. There's a lot of artwork in here. Probably because it's an art gallery. So you guys can see us on Periscope if we go back on Periscope?
Oh, yeah. You just go to the
at Snipe6 Official, because I'll get Artie to do. We'll go do some EVP work, and we'll put it live on Periscope. You should be able to watch it on Twitter.
Yeah, we were still a little bit distorted, but I got it figured out. Okay, thank you, a-hole, skeptic, a-hole.
Yeah, stop being an a-hole, woman. That's what he tried to say. And grab the pink belt.
Is that his name?
Hey, why don't you ask the ghost to sit on your lap and you can talk about the first thing that pops up?
I read that one.
Wait a minute, you have something that pops up, Kim?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I wear this. I have this belt with a lot of equipment in it, and you sit down and it pops up, like my laser light and my mel meter and stuff. Yeah.
I love when a mel meter pops up on me.
Me too.
Do you?
Okay, we're gonna go live. Okay.
We are live. We're live right now.
No, but we're gonna go on Periscope live.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. So that means you're coming off the air with me, or what?
I'm coming off air, and I'm going to go live on Periscope for a bit.
Okay.
Okay, I can't talk to you guys.
You can't
while I
do both
EP
at the same
sessions
time,
the same
right?
time. Well, no, the ghosts won't answer because I won't hear them because I'm too busy listening to you.
I get it.
Okay, I'll call you back, but go on Twitter and watch us live.
I know, but we're on the air. We have to keep talking, and Yuck and I
Well,
will
you
have
guys
to
can talk
like
about shit.
really tell a whole bunch
Yeah,
of
but you
stupid
can. Yeah, but you
jokes
can
and stuff.
talk about what you're watching on Periscope.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what we'll do. We'll.
Jeez, be creative.
Okay, we have it. I am creative. I had to keep the whole show going. The last one, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get RD and we're gonna go live. I will call you back.
All right, Kim. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Let's keep
bye.
us in touch.
Oh,
And,
yes. Bye.
Yeah, send me notes if you on Skype if anything happens. Okay, she's gone, and she's gone. Wow.
All right, clue me in. Periscope.
Yeah,
and so you see it you see it from Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? Or, yeah?
No, I guess the link is there. That's it. By the way, do I sound like I have echo on my voice?
You sound a Satan on your voice, brother. What the fuck?
Is it echoing?
Exactly.
You sound like I have Wolfman Light, but I got fucking Lucifer with me.
Oh, that's what. Yes. Oh, do you want to play that game? I can play that game too, baby.
Demon microphone. The demon microphone was on. You got one?
You got your picture.
Damn it, Kim. Where's Kim at?
Marcus. What's up, buddy? Are you there? Okay. Eric, are you still there? No. Uh-oh. Oh, we got
What?
Holy shit.
What?
What's up,
Here.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know what that was. What do you think, Yuck?
Yeah, that sounded like some gay old time stuff going on there, hey.
Not really. I don't think it was gay.
I'm not saying, I said gay old.
Oh.
Like Joy to the World, we're gonna have a gay old time?
Yeah, man. Like, you know, la 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 la, and wear rainbow pants and everything.
Oh, check out rainbow pants, fucking fucking touch me, what?
Yeah, man. I would definitely probably wear rainbow pants when I'm ghost hunting. You know why?
Why is that?
Just to be positive. You know, be really positive. So it's
just be HIV positive.
Yeah. No. Wait a minute.
Supportive.
Hey. Wait a minute. Shit, I didn't mean to say that.
No, I'm the one who said it.
It's too late now.
Hey, Wolfman, say hello to Julia Brooks and hello to Michael Jericho.
Hello, Michael Jericho and Julia Brooks from the Wolfman. All right, yeah, dig it out, baby. Wow, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this Wolfman Mike. Goddamn, we fuck shit up tonight. Hell yeah, I'm spreading herpes all over the airwaves. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, man.
Trying to be serious, but we having a lot of trouble. We always have a lot of trouble being serious. Are you serious? Who's serious here?
No,
Marcus?
I'm never serious.
All right, I'll be serious. What the hell?
Marcus, are you serious?
Jesus Christ, bro.
I'm not hearing Marcus. I'm not hearing you, Marcus. Talk a little louder, please.
Oh, really?
Ooh. Okay, Les W,
Yes?
are you serious?
Sure, you know what? I'll be serious just to be the only serious one in the batch. How about that?
All right. At least we got somebody fucking serious around here.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because we're not. Well, I'm
No, but
serious
seriously.
I am serious about this ghost hunt, though. I think it's pretty cool.
Man, it sucks that she hung up on you, though.
Yeah, she keeps going to Periscope, and then we got to watch the live show from there, the Periscope thing. But I've never used Periscope.
Yeah, I think she'll be ready to have us call back again because she was having a lot of fun with us compared to I better look for a ghost. She's like, hey, I just found my water bottle. Yeah, call her back in a little bit, man. No? Am I the only one who thinks that? What about you, Marcus?
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. Totally.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question.
Okay, only one. Okay, and then another.
Okay, only one. Only one question.
And then another one.
Now, let's say you guys were there in that, in that gallery or the Glenhurst Art Gallery. How long could you stand sitting around in there? And let's say, okay, there's nothing going on, and you're sitting there waiting. How long do you just say, hey, I'm out of here?
The haunted art gallery, right? That's what haunting is going on.
Yeah. So I mean, let's say you were instead of her doing the same thing. How long could you stand sitting around, and there's nothing happening till when you say, you know what, I'm out of here.
Oh, I could probably do it, but I'd have to be able to smoke in there. Or light myself on fire. Something.
So for how long? All night?
Oh, I could probably do it for 3-4 hours.
That's not bad.
What about you guys?
What, this haunted, a supposedly haunted fucking place like that?
Yeah.
I think I would start fucking off as soon as I got in there.
Yeah.
I'd probably be the first one possessed because they're like, fuck this little asshole. Nah, man, I honestly, I don't know, man. I'd probably go deep in there. I would have fun in them shits. We used to fuck around in a lot of them fucking places back in the day. Especially in Wisconsin, man. We used to break into like old houses off fucking country roads.
But after a while, I would think I would just get kind of bored if nothing's happening. I'm thinking, yeah, okay, maybe I'll just go ahead and just get out of here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've never seen any paranormal shit in my life. We would just go in there and party and smoke and get drunk and fuck off. You know what I mean?
That's a plan.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of abandoned houses or abandoned farmhouses or barns, especially up here in Wisconsin.
Well, that's.
Oh, yeah. Where are you in Wisconsin? Like central, northern?
I mean,
where?
Hey, baby, home of the motherfucking butt packers. You fucking ain't right, bitch. Going all the way.
Oh, that's strange.
Hell yeah, man. I'm 2 blocks from Lambeau Field.
All right.
A-hole skeptic says we still have distortion. And he'll come back when our sound is fixed.
Hey, tell him to switch over to Mixlr, mixlr.com/get-in-the-corner, or just go to thecorner.live and you'll be able to hear what we're doing right now because I'm rebroadcasting it right now at thecorner.live.
I don't know, man. I can't see it just being distorted. I turned it way fucking down.
You don't sound distorted over here. Like I said, man, I'm recording it for you and rebroadcasting it right now, brother. I got 4 people in the chat room. You said hi to Juliet and Michael Jericho. We got Russell Zavala and the Mining Coins over here listening to you for the first time. Wolfman Mike, why don't you tell them who the fuck you are, bitch?
Hey, this is the Wolfman.
This is Mike broadcasting live from Monster Castle Paranormal Radio. And we are doing a ghost hunt tonight. Yeah. We're doing a little
of a ghost hunt, yeah. And we got them coming back in and out, because they're checking their EVPs right now. We're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, in and out.
Yeah, man, in, out.
Just little in and out, you know?
Yeah, ghost hunt, Michael. We had right before you guys logged in, there was a girl that was on here that she's in the house right now. It's an art gallery where it's supposed to be haunted. Oh, is she adding back in? Is that an EVP?
Yeah, Nancy's a faggot.
I just heard it. I just heard it through the static. They said Yuck Nancy's a faggot.
No. It's a haunted shortwave radio.
Oh, Nancy's faggot. Faggot.
Well, I heard something. But I don't know what that was.
Stop listening to Russell. No, that's not Russell, but yes, he calls me a faggot.
Oh, man. I hate seeing that shit, man. I hate seeing those shadow people. I mean, they should just, not be a shadow. Just
be people.
White, maybe, not too dark.
To the Periscope.
I don't know. What's going on, Marcus?
Because I've been looking for it, I can't find it.
What are you looking for?
Periscope account. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you gotta find the on their Twitter, I guess. I'm trying to we should have the real. Oh, it's also posted on 47 Talk. I think Eric posted it.
Way back. When was that? I mean.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I know, I haven't found it either. I'm not familiar with Periscope, so it's
What is their Twitter, man? I'll find it. What's the Twitter?
There's at Snipe6. At Snipe6.
Again? What? One at a time. Don't you guys all get excited. What's their Twitter? At
Snipe6
Wolfman
Official.
What?
At Snipe6 Official.
Okay, I still didn't hear it.
At Snipe6 Official. So it's SNIPE 6 and then official.
Snipe6 Official.
That's right.
What's up with all the feedback, man? Hey, if everybody mutes their mic, I'll be able to play her Periscope right now. Okay?
I got it. I know what's going on. I think I fixed it.
Nope.
No. Hello?
Someone else with that.
Is that better? Check.
Nope.
Yeah. I can't hardly hear you guys though. Check. Yeah, we're here.
Can you hear me?
One.
Yeah.
One of the other guys on Skype had really bad fun. One of the guys on Skype. One of you other guys on Skype has very bad feedback that's making all of us echo, and you're adding them to the whole fucking sound.
I think I fixed it.
Nope, it's still there.
Really?
I don't hear it no more.
I think I fixed it, man.
You fixed the world.
Alright, here we go. I'm going to play your Periscope.
Oh, no way. You found it? I think I got the sound trouble fixed. Man, that's something else.
Just listen, man. We're here.
Alright. So, are you playing something?
You can't hear this?
No.
No.
Hold on. Alright, people on my shit can hear it though.
Yeah, they probably can. But when you're
Now that your shit can hear it though.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way. When there's two boards, it doesn't seem to work that way. I think that the Skype cancels it out. But
Alright, Wolf man, what you want me to do, man?
That's freaky. I had that thing plugged different. Okay.
I can play it if you give me the link. I'll just put it on the Snipe or Skype text editor.
The Snipe text editor.
I never did find her Twitter.
You know, I went to Periscope itself and I typed in Snipe 6 official and I got nothing.
Okay, I got it. Caveman posted it. It's live on Periscope, Snipe at Glenhurst.
Oh, right here. There we go. And it's in Skype.
There's a link right there. I'm gonna try
Twitter. You hit the Twitter. It's their first tweet on the top, man. You just hit play and you fucking hear the audio.
Nice. I'm going into it right now. I found it. This is
awesome. To feed it through? I can do that, I think.
Here we are, yeah. I'm watching it. Slide. Open. How do I open it up? I don't know. I don't know. It's not. Maybe you need Periscope app on your phone or something, right? Is that what you need?
Or be on a computer.
Are you on a fucking phone, fucker?
Yeah.
You're hosting a call with all this, and you're trying to broadcast on a fucking phone.
No, dude. I'm using my phone to look at the Periscope so it doesn't fuck up the broadcast.
Okay, I got it now too. All right.
Yeah,
because otherwise it might fuck up my broadcast. I don't want to do that.
There's a direct link to Periscope. Right into Skype. Someone who's got control.
Sort of. Try to get it to play is a different story. But I got it up there. So I'll get it going yet. I've never done this before. That's nice. I mean, I've never done anything with Periscope ever. So,
Alright, I'm looking at it right now. I see a blade.
What do you see?
She says, if you made that call, leave it attic. You want us to leave?
Okay, I might have it.
Oh man, I'm just keep pushing the wrong buttons on here. I think I got to get Periscope. I got it. I have to install it on my fucking phone. Wow, okay. Everybody else probably has to do it too. So yeah, we got to install it on your stupid phone, and then you'll get it. You got to install Periscope. It's an app.
Is it an app?
Yeah, for a cell phone. Yeah,
What is an app? I've never heard of a fucking app.
It's kind of like
herpes.
Those are like something that they can spy on you from the government.
I'm playing it, so everybody in my chat box can hear what's going on there. All we hear is a lot of crinkling and.
Who's that? Who's doing the crinkling?
They're saying something. They're trying to get EVPs right now.
Yeah, no shit, eh?
Way too much noise.
We're making way too much noise. So I'm gonna play something for a second here, anyways, because it's a half hour in, and I'm gonna see what's going on with this shit.
All right, do your thing, man.
Yeah, we're gonna have a break, guys. All right, this is a raw recording.
Shit out.
This is a live jam session from last week, I think.
Play with Jay. If you let me host a goddamn conversation, we can all hear what I'm doing.
Wow, why are you doing that?
I'm sorry to be so.
I'll get it. I'll show you. It's really easy.
And you have to learn to dance. You're
It's not even okay. We're back on live on Monster Castle Radio. How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? I believe the Periscope feed has stopped for now. I think so. Maybe Kim will come back on with us shortly if we can do that. But
I think it's back on. Did you?
You think it's back on now? It's back on?
Could you say something, like, and ask a question?
Oh, I can hear that.
So we come up here, and we're in this attic. Usually it's pitch black, but we would like to communicate. We want to talk to whoever or whatever's here. We have little gadgets here that can hear your voice. We just need you to respond. interested in what you have to say, why you're here. Tell us how you passed, when you passed, and tell us why you're still here.
That was my guts.
Did 12 years though just go?
Oh no, didn't.
I know, but I heard over here too after that.
No, I didn't know.
Right on. The Wolfman's got it. I got the Periscope feed going on here.
So, we're asking for you to speak to us. You can always touch one of us. We have all our permissions to do that. We just want confirmation that you're here. When we're hiding, when we're running away from us, just come and talk to us.
Are you okay, Artie?
Yeah, I'm just sick.
All of a sudden?
Whoa, what was that?
No. I'm recovering from a sickness. What was that?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was like
you guys hear that?
vibrating or something.
Well, that thing was...
Yeah, but it was right here.
Yeah, it was right here.
Like it was like something, like a ball, like a marble or something was being...
I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
Fuck yeah, Wolfman Mike back in this bitch. Paranormal radio in my pants. Fuck yeah!
You should hear it. Marcus has got it playing right now. We heard just a really big rumbling sound.
What just happened?
Set up here now.
No, they won't come up here.
Yeah, we'll come up there. I'll come up there.
What is that?
Taste it.
No.
Can you hear it, yeah?
Tires. If I go out there and my tire is shredded,
Fuck yeah. I go out there and shred that shit with my slobber.
hotel pod.
And the clowns out there.
Yeah, slobber all over that shit.
There was a crazy noise in there, man.
There's a cloud sighting.
Is it really?
Yeah, you see the clouds. Fucking slobber on your shit, bitch.
Murdered.
We gotta stop dressing like clowns, yeah?
Try and be stupid. That's like really great.
Yeah, yuck, nasty clown, stupid. Yeah, slobber, bitch.
We're done.
We need Batman.
Yeah, we did.
Like, yeah, I'll dress up like Batman if you want me to, bitch.
Okay. I don't really like being Robin anymore, though. That's not funny, man.
Yeah, I'll be Robin then, because my name is Wolfman Mike, and I'm a fucking retard. Robin all day. Fuck me in my ass.
You guys are nuts.
No, I'm trying to get serious here, and you guys are being silly.
I'm so serious right now. Leave that shit up.
We got 2 viewers in here.
Hey, you got more than 2.
3. Better than enough.
I'll go down.
Alright. Beats a kick in the ass.
What's going on, man? Did you figure your fucking shit out or what?
Not feeling nothing up here.
I'm not feeling it either.
It's working.
Hey, Joel, are you feeling it? Are you feeling me up here? Or am I feeling you up there?
Yeah.
Are you not feeling it, Joel? Fuck off.
Oh.
Now he doesn't say anything.
The clowns are getting murdered. What?
Jesus Christ.
Wow. So,
Now, hey, were you playing the...
Fuck no.
Were you playing the clip? It wasn't live what you just had on, right?
Hell
that
yeah,
was live.
it was.
That was live, yeah.
Was it live or was it clip?
Because
I don't get anything from
It looks like it's stopped again.
I mean, the clips are there. You can play the clips, but the live thing ended about the same time when we were listening, and then it all ended for us same time, obviously.
Well, that's because I'm Wolfman Mike, and I do dope shit. My whole life is dope shit, and I'm a dope motherfucker who's all live. Yeah.
Is it live or is it dead?
Well, I think it was Memorex.
I think you guys are killing it right now, though.
Yeah. It was live. Definitely. Oh, it's back on. Look, they got the K2 meter on there right now. And they're showing that it just freaking right out. Yeah, the K2 is freaking right out.
I'm going to look here.
Yeah. I can't hear it anymore. I can turn mine up. No. That was stupid.
What the fuck are you guys doing, honestly?
KT meter was freaking right out, and I fucking turned the wrong button.
Yeah. Now what's going on, though?
Oh, man. It'll be interesting to hear, like, if they got EVP.
I thought me and Joel were friends. He was laughing at my jokes, and now he just disappears. I mean,
who's that?
Joel.
On your end.
No, on your end.
Did
It's not my end.
Who disappeared?
It's just me, you, Les, and Joel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
She'll come back on.
Oh, Amy?
But they got the live thing going right now, so.
I know, I was playing it, man. I want to talk to her some more.
I'm going to talk to her some more, yeah. See, bitch.
Like I said, yuck nasty on that one instead of you did.
Wow.
Alright, man, I'm going to find her shit and play it again for fuckers that's listening to on the Get in the Corner stream again. Because they were doing some funny shit. Like, at least Amy was on before you guys, or before I went live on the Get in the Corner stream. She was in here on the Skype with us, joking around, talking shit about this, and she's goofy as fuck. And I've been waiting. We're all waiting for her to get back on with us, but let me find the stream.
Wait a minute, you were talking to Amy? Amy Martin?
Just said that.
It wasn't me.
On your Skype, okay. You got a recording of that?
On all of our Skypes.
Wow. I got a recording of me talking drunk with Amy on the air. It's really I mean on the
That's
phone.
What you're getting to?
It's pretty funny too.
Play it. She sounds hot.
Yeah, I'll see if I can pull it up. Can't you find that one?
Wolfman thinks Amy's hot than a motherfucker.
Find that one where you're talking with her, or no?
Oh, now you want me to do shit, huh?
Well, I was putting the Periscope back on. For me to do
that,
I can't do it right now. I don't have it plugged in my.
Yeah,
I don't have that plugged in.
Guys,
it's only on. Actually, that's only on my phone.
They ended 12 minutes ago.
Oh, did they? It's back on. I have it on right now. The Periscope.
It ended 12 minutes ago, it said.
Well, how
you just hit play on the recording.
I'm watching it right now.
Add her back to the Skype, bro.
Oh, it's probably just playing a rerun of what I just saw.
Really?
Yeah, clips.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Really?
So it ended. So maybe she'll call back in, or I should try to add her back into the call.
Really?
Okay, then if that's the case, then I can play that drunken call with me and Amy.
That's a good one. Play it. Let's hear it.
I'll try to find this and plug that in.
Holy fuck, is that going to take another hour and a half?
No. It's going to take 2 seconds.
He said, let me find it, and then let me plug that in. So rearrange shit.
Well, you couldn't find yours.
Something. Oh, man, you're doing a great job, Wolfman.
No, I didn't hear that.
Behind us.
I
Were you freaking cross or something?
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Did you see the worst thing right there?
Oh, I gotta have that.
Darth Vader?
I gotta have that.
Playing it, Marcus?
Actually, I have it in my front yard.
Air blown inflatable. It's a new sex toy for Todd.
Oh my god.
You heard that back there though, right?
I like midgets.
You can't say that! Little people. That's what you said. You heard that though. I feel like it's trying to get inside me because I feel like my whole body is like sore and contorted.
We've been talking about midgets.
The crab walk down the stairs.
Oh yes! Right down the wall. What?
What's waiting for? Alright, 6 viewers. The hell was that?
What? See, something keeps touching me too. It feels like a spider.
See that hair on my hands? Standing up?
That's them.
Yeah, well, I was looking at this hand, and Artie's feeling this hand, and they did it on this hand. That's why I switched two hands.
Something's definitely touching her hair.
Creepy. Probably didn't want to go.
Probably. Todd, nothing for you?
I think everybody's got trying to get to a long way, except I think instead of going a little long, you can bring her on and say, go in the discussion.
You did it pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you guys hear that last time we were here? In the coach house, we were doing individual EVP sessions. I send Todd up first for like half an hour. I'm monitoring the monitors. I go up there to check on him thinking he's dead. He was sleeping.
Nice. You get tired sometimes. A little power nap.
I got on video.
In the dark.
That's wide open.
What a fucking haunted experience. Duke passes out and shit.
Well, I probably fell asleep in almost every place. There's that chair down here on the landing. Yeah. I slept in there when I was here all by myself.
Well, that's different when you're by yourself.
About 4 in the morning.
You guys, I can't understand the echo we had. That was weird, eh? Well, they're still on. Marcus, is that live?
Yeah, that's live.
Oh, wow.
You fell asleep in the bed.
That's not where it said my name, remember? Yeah. Can we go? Can we go try to put her? Yeah.
Alright.
Can somebody text her and ask her what she wants to do?
Tell the viewers what's happening.
You tell them. You guys are going over there.
We're ending our EVP. That's all, folks. We're ending our EVP session in the attic. We're going to go to the coach house, check things out in there, see if we can get the building to shake for us. So this broadcast is going to stop, and we'll start another one once we get there.
Okay, I'm going to take my camera.
Yeah, that's how I
Baby! Whoa. Wow! Jesus!
That was a killer.
Killer, man, yeah. Oh, shit.
Wolfman Mike apologizes for the damage causing eardrums. Yeah.
Oh, not really. I kind of like that.
Was it bad?
Who's back? Are you kidding? They're back again?
Too hot.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I can't hear nothing anymore.
I can hear you though.
Oh, really?
Fuck
Yes,
yeah.
I can.
You sound
thank
sexy
you.
too, don't
You want to
Now
hear
I'm
something
feeling
funny?
creeped.
Let's see if this works. I think, are they off the air now or what?
Yeah, they're off the air.
Okay.
They're going to the house or the clubhouse or the coach house. I mean,
I don't know if Amy will get mad at me for playing this or not, but I'll play a little bit of it when I called her. Is that it? No, that's not it. No. Drunken Wolfman and Amy. Here we go. I think I got it. Oh my god, you sound so rough. It should work. I don't know. What happened? What happened? What happened?
Yeah,
what happened?
it's working.
Who wants to know what happened?
I see what was a big thing. But yeah, I mean, I've never seen anything that amazing.
It's pretty quiet. Oh my god, this is the amazing Amy Martin. She is the best in paranormal news, guys. Everyone gotta send your love to Amy right now because we need to heal her.
I appreciate it, you guys, and I thank you so much for giving me a call with me, and
not just me. This is a.
You could have given me some warning.
No, I don't give you no warning. This is in your body, but it will also kill the good ones. So you don't want to do it too.
Okay, sure.
On this show, I'm trying to do. Oh my god, I don't even want to ask you. I don't even want to hear that. That's terrible. You couldn't hear her anyways. It's just too quiet in there. You hear it a little bit, I guess.
I heard a little bit, but not much.
I'm recording you right now, by the way. I am recording you right now. You think I'm stupid?
You better not put this out there.
I won't put it out there unless you tell me that. Okay, all right. Starting from right now, let's put this on the air. How are you, Amy? This is the Wolfman. Can I put this on the air? Can I put this on the air? I only have 100 listeners. It's only the DM talkers, honey. It's only the people from DM Talk listening to me. I have 100 listeners. That's it. I don't have a big, huge crowd, you know. Shut up, Wolfman. Shut up. That was terrible. Hey, you guys. That was terrible, eh? What do you guys think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was live.
Oh, that was me and Amy talking on there. You want to hear it again?
Oh, whatever.
I don't know.
Hey, man, add her back to Skype.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to add our guest back on.
Add her in and see what happens.
Oh, I'm gonna add her back in for sure.
Let's add her to the group.
Okay.
Somebody's giving some weird sounds coming in here. I don't know. It's not me this time. I know I did it last time. We all gotta take a turn putting weird. Okay, there. I added her back in. We'll see what happens. I hope she comes back on. That would be cool. But we can't always get what we want. Except if you're yuck nasty. Then you can get whatever you want. Right?
Yeah. When it comes to motherfucking anything. When it comes to smoke, goddamn. When it comes to women, oh yeah. Because I present a Wolfman Mike when I'm out everywhere. That's what yuck nasty does. That's the only way I get bitch ass.
Wow. Well, they must have had some. I heard some weird shit going on there. Like The weirdest thing tonight was that camera moving. What do you guys think of that? Did you hear about that? Yuck! The camera was sitting by itself on a pod, like a camera pod, and it actually turned around and did a 360 on the stand.
No, I did not hear that.
Oh, that was earlier. Yeah, that was freaky, man.
What that happened tonight?
That was on the first show that I did. We did we're doing 2 shows because I wanted to keep it going.
Yeah, but I mean that happened where Amy is at right now.